Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how to set a screen with any player here in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM, because I know there's a lot of people that don't know how to do this. And this is a video I made last year that seemed to help out a lot of people. And I know there's a lot of y'all who may see this video and y'all already know how to do this. So this video isn't for you. That's okay. This video is more so for the people who may be getting into MyTEAM for the first time or are just newer to 2K, maybe not even newer to 2K, but just don't know how to do this. And it's a video that seemed to help a lot of people out last year, so we're going to do it again because I've gotten a couple of requests recently in the comments for this video. Yes, I know, by the way. I know y'all want a dribble tutorial. I will have a dribble tutorial coming for y'all either this weekend or next week. And hopefully that will help a lot of y'all out as well. I got to get the hand cam figured out again because I haven't used that in quite a while, but I will have a dribble tutorial for MyTEAM coming for y'all here in the next week or two. Well, not week or two, in the next several days. It won't be tomorrow. It won't be Friday because that's content day, but either Saturday, Sunday, or Monday, we should have a dribble tutorial coming for y'all. So I know y'all want that. Before we hop into this video, though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I'm uploading every single day, tons of consistent daily MyTEAM content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop into this video. If y'all have any other ideas for, I guess, how-to videos that y'all want to see, feel free to leave that in the comment section below. Let me know what videos y'all are looking for. Things that y'all don't know about playing the game specifically. If there's any specific things y'all want to see videos on, I'd be more than happy to try to help out. So just let me know in the comments if there's anything else y'all are looking for. But with that being said, let's hop right into this. I feel like calling screens with any player is one of those things that it's not complicated, but once you figure it out, it's something that really does help unlock your offense in a lot of different ways. For example, a point guard like Magic Johnson is really useful because of this feature really right here, because his ability to be a screener and take advantage of his size against mismatches, or really take advantage against any mismatch, is really nice. And it is the simplest, I mean truly the simplest thing to do. All you do is tap your left button. You see how icons come up when you tap your left button, and then call the screen with whoever you want. Like I hold X right there and I call Rudy Gay for a pick and roll. That's literally it. And I know I turned the ball over there, but I don't really care. Point being, it is the simplest, easiest grind, really, or not even grind, simplest, easiest thing to do. And once you know how to do it, it's something you will never struggle with again. So I want to call a screen with Jack Marin from the corner there. I tap my left button, hold B, and I have him now on a pick and roll, which is exactly what I called for there. And it works, by the way, the exact same for pick and pop as a normal screen and roll would be, where you just hold LB and then tap RB basically to switch it to a pick and fade, which, by the way, in case you're, again, if you're really new to MyTEAM, you don't know how to do, or really new to 2K and you don't know how to do that, you can switch a pick and roll to a pick and fade by holding or tapping right button when you call the screen. So like when you call a screen with any player, whether it's with a big or with another player, if you just hold A, it's going to be pick and roll. But if you tap RB while you're still in the process of holding, because you still have to be holding that icon to pass it basically, before to switch it to a pick and fade instead of pick and roll, I should say. But all you got to do is tap RB while you're in the process of calling that pick and roll with any player, and it will switch it to a pick and fade instead of a pick and roll. So really easy thing to do, and something that is really useful. For example, let's say I was playing online, my opponent has a short PG. I call Shea into a pick and roll, and I can slip him, but then it doesn't get me open. So I come here, I tap RB this time while I'm holding A, and it switches him to a pick and fade instead of a pick and roll. It's really simple, and it's something that is really useful for attacking and creating mismatches at any time. It's a great way to take advantage of a switch when your opponent switches defensively as well. That's another area where it's really useful. For example, I don't think I have a great example of it here, but let's just say somebody's point guard gets switched onto your small forward, and your small forward has a 4-inch height advantage. You call for his pick and roll there, and that gives you an opportunity to get yourself an easy bucket basically every single time. It's a really simple thing to do though, and it's a very useful skill to have in your back pocket. And it's one of those things that is so easy to do once you know how to do it, yet I feel like a lot of people are just not aware of. And it's honestly one of the more simple mechanics, I think, in the game in terms of just how to do it. So yeah, with that being said, I will say when it comes to pick and roll, you shouldn't just run pick and roll or pick and fade, because it's just not going to give you the consistent results you want if you do the same thing every single time. Your opponents will adjust to it, and you have to be able to read the defense. For example, if I call for a pick and roll here with Jack Marin and I slip the screen, and Dwayne Wade's still between Jack Marin and the basket, that's not really the animation I'm looking for. I'm kind of looking for him to slip behind Wade. And so if you don't get that animation, you don't want to force that pick and roll right there. And another thing that I will say real quickly, I know it's not the point of this video, but I'll show you all in this next offensive possession, is how to quick slip a screen, because I think that does go hand in hand and can be something really useful when your opponent is playing high on a screen with the guy guarding the screener, trying to blitz the screen or potentially X-switch the screen, which, by the way, X-switching is another thing that maybe I should do a tutorial on this next week. I've done videos on it before, but it's been a while, so that's another thing that maybe I should make a video on. But let's just say I want to quick slip the screen. I call it an illegality for pick and roll. All I do is hold LB for a second. Once he sets the screen, and he will slip as soon as I tap LB. You see how he slips right there? And it's the same thing for a pick and pop, by the way, as well. I hold LB, he slips out early. Basically, it gives you control on when your opponent, or when your player who is setting the screen, either slips or pops, so you don't actually have to wait for the CPU to do it themselves, because the CPU will eventually either pick and roll or pick and fade based on what you have called, but you can control the speed at which they slip and how they do it, and not the speed at which they slip, but when they slip, with that mechanic as well, which is another very simple and very useful thing to do. For example, I mean, the CPU is not giving up the slip at all, but it's something where you see how they will eventually do it themselves, right? But you have more control if you just want to slip it early. For example, right there, I can slip it early, and against if it was one step further past Kemba, that's a free dunk. And it's something that I feel like is more useful online than offline, in all honesty, because the offline coverages will play the same way basically every single time, right? Like, they're not giving up the slip in this situation, so I can't really quick slip behind them. But if you combine this, the ability to quick slip, the ability to call a pick and roll, pick and pop with any player, the ability to do those types of things, you combine that with what I talked about in yesterday's video, which is that icon lead passing. These are different things that will just allow you to elevate your pick and roll, pick and fade offense, and have more control over how you score and what your screener does. So because obviously you have control of the player you're dribbling with, but it gives you more influence in general over the offense that you're playing and the way that your offense plays pick and roll, pick and pop, all that type of stuff. And once you master these pretty simple skills, it will just give you a lot of more control to make things different, to run things differently on any given possession, whether it's pick and roll, pick and fade, when your player slips, whether you want them to slip early or late, things of that nature. It just gives you more control, which is something that I think is very, very important and a bit overlooked at times in my team. So I apologize for my rambling a little bit. It's probably could have been a little bit shorter video, but I'll be totally honest with y'all. Gotta hit 8 minutes for that ad revenue. Anyways, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more NBA 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.